I want to talk about something to start us out, though. I want to talk about the concept of civility. We hear a lot about civility from powerful people in both the Democratic and Republican parties. Neil Gorsuch, the Supreme Court Justice, who's got the seat stolen from the Democratic Party by the Republicans, by Mitch McConnell's refusal to even hold hearings on President Obama's nomination for that seat. Neil Gorsuch has a new book out in which he talks at great length about the need for civility. President Obama himself talked a lot about civility. A lot of Democrats who talk about civility are on the right end, the conservative end of the Democratic political spectrum, and are very much part of the political establishment. One of those that likes to talk about bringing civility back to the debate. No, before I go on, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with being civil to one another. I was raised to be civil. I say excuse me and please and thank you. I think if my mother were alive today, she'd be kind of proud of me on that score. Actually, I'm pretty good about it. But having said all that, there's a place for civility, and there's a place where civility should not be. And there are times when what we are talking about isn't really civility at all. Now, as an example, I want to play for you a campaign ad that's being run by Senator Mark Bennett. Now, Mark Bennett, let's face it, will be a political footnote at best when this election is over. He will not be the candidate. The only reason he will not be a tiny footnote in this campaign is if whoever becomes the Democratic nominee picks him for vice president, which seems to be the position he's angling for. I doubt that will happen, but you never know. Having said all of that, Mike Bennett seems to pride himself on being civil. Mike Bennett is also running this campaign ad that I'd like you to see. So let's show it right now.
The Register says caucus goers should pay attention to Michael Bennett. Bennett pounds some truth into the campaign.
The truth is, a health care plan that starts by kicking people off their coverage makes no sense. We all know it. Before we go and blow up everything, let's try this. Give families a choice. Keep your health care or join a public option. It's that simple, and it's the fastest way to cover everybody. I'm Michael Bennett, and I approve this message.
See, here's the problem with people like Michael Bennett who advocate civility. I think one of the reasons they do it is so that they want to make you feel uncomfortable when you make the statement I'm about to make, which is that Michael Bennett is a liar. This ad contains lies. He tweeted it out with a tweet that begins with a lie, and as many liars often do, he gratuitously insisted it was the truth. This is what Michael Bennett says in the tweet. Here's the truth. There's a better way to achieve universal health care than Medicare for all. Instead of kicking people off their coverage, let's build on the Affordable Care Act, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. This idea that Medicare for all kicks anybody off their health plan is a lie. And the reason why I say it's a lie is because you know, if I were to say to you, when you're sitting in the coach seat of an airplane, here's a ticket to first class, I suppose you could say, that man kicked me out of my coach seat. But I don't think you'd say that. I think you'd say, lucky me, I got a seat in first class. Now, the way that Medicare for all works is it gives everybody, no matter what health plan they're in, better coverage than they have right now. So to tell somebody that it kicks you off your coverage, which implies being left uncovered at one point or another, is a lie. Civility is the word that's used in order to discourage people like me from telling the truth to people like you, which is why I don't buy it. And you know what else? I think it's extremely uncivil of a politician to lie to the American people, as Mr. Bennett, Senator Bennett did right here. So let's talk instead about what it means to be not always civil, but always honest. What it means to be always honest when it comes to healthcare is to acknowledge the truth that by no means a lefty, an objective reporter for Bloomberg named Sahil Kapoor acknowledged, which is that the headline, all the Democratic healthcare proposals have one big problem. What's the one big problem? Whether it's Michael Bennett's proposal, whether it's Joe Biden's proposal, whether it's Kamala Harris's proposal, the big problem is that all of those plans will be opposed by the healthcare industry. So the second lie they tell you is, well, if we do it this way, the insurance companies won't fight us. Yes, they will, because they can never get enough. So here's the uncivil truth I will tell you. We need to fight for Medicare for all. It's the only civil solution to our healthcare crisis.